Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning back into my channel. My name is Nakia, and I am in my second semester of LPN school. And if this is your first time tuning into my channel, welcome, and thank you for joining. So every Sunday, I always give a little recap of the week that I just ended, and this week was week 4. So not a lot went on this week. A few changes due to coronavirus, but I will still prevail and I will still keep pushing. So we will still have our exams on campus on Mondays, but as far as the lecture, next month we were supposed to be going on Wednesdays for our lecture, and unfortunately that has been canceled. So now all of the lectures will be still held online from our platform called Big Blue Button, which is similar to Zoom, but it's a few changes. And so we will remain online for that. Our sim lab will still be online. So the only thing that I will physically be going to will be my clinicals on every Thursday morning from 6 to 2. And whenever we have an exam, which my first one is tomorrow. And we have to be there by 20 minutes to 11 because the test will start at 11. We have to make sure that we have our username and our password and that we are able to download the test and start the test. So this is going to be really different for me. You know, I haven't taken a campus test since I took my T's about maybe a year and a half ago. So I am ready to go ahead and do that test. And this exam will cover 5 chapters. And those 5 chapters are on communication, the concept of stress and coping, the concept of self, the concept of mood and affect, and last, the concept of cognition. So all of those chapters are reviewed besides the concept of stress and coping, because we're doing everything that we did last semester. We're just diving deeper into the exemplars, or the exemplars are like, if I can show you this book is so heavy, but this is like the exemplar. And as you see, this says 29B exemplar, and this is on personality disorders. So each chapter that we do, sometimes it all depends on what chapter you're doing. This one is on the concept of self. And so you have a little introduction. So that's module 29. And then you'll go to 29A, which was on feeding and eating disorders. And then 29B is on the personality disorders. And then another chapter starts with mood and affect. So that was like the introduction of the chapter. And then we had to do 28A, which was on depression. And then 28B was on bipolar disorder. And I think that's all. No. Then 28D was on suicide. So it's different parts to mood and affect. And that's what we did our lectures on. So as far as lecture, you know, that was the only big change, is that the on-campus lectures that was going to begin on next month, which is 2 days from now. So that actual first on-campus lecture would have been February 2nd, but now they will be held strictly online, which in a way I'm glad. You guys know I love online lectures. I love online, period. If they would just put the whole program online and just go to clinicals, I would be ecstatic about that, because I don't know, I guess I've always been tech savvy, and I've always, sorry guys, I hit the button. You know, if you move your cursor off to the side of your laptop screen, it'll just close you out. So if I got a black screen, I'll just try to edit it out. But yeah, I'm very tech savvy. You know, I know my way around computers. I know what to do on a computer, you know, different things, how to download and stuff like that. So I've always had, you know, those skills prior to being in elementary school. So, and those skills just stuck with me. So I just love computers. So that's about all for lecture. My first exam will be tomorrow. My campus, you have to score at least an 80. Nothing below an 80 is passing. And if you do happen to get one low exam grade, we do have extra credit towards the end again. So that will help us boost the low test at the end. So that's a good thing. As far as Sim Lab, we didn't have any assignments this week either. So we've only had 1 week, and that was week 2 that we actually had assignments on our for our Sim Lab class. So I don't know what's going on with that, but hey, that's one less thing I had to worry about. So nothing important for Sim Lab, that's on Mondays. So tomorrow I don't know if we're going to have any Sim Lab assignments for tomorrow either, because we're going to be on campus for maybe like an hour or two doing the exam. So if we do have anything posted, I'll be sure enough to come home after the test, maybe after a nap. But I'll check that once I come back home. Now, as far as clinical, this is a big difference from last semester, because last semester clinical was my least favorite. But this semester, I think clinical is my favorite. I mentioned before in my last video that my clinical instructor and my lecture instructor are both the same. So we're getting the best of both worlds with that. And we are loving that part. She's a great instructor for our lectures, and she's a excellent instructor for our clinical group. And that I'm in a hospital this time. So the hospitals have a lot more things that go on versus being in a long-term care facility, especially when giving out medications. We are utilizing the Omnicell. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a huge machine that houses all of the medications. You have to make sure you identify your 2 patient identifiers, which is the patient's name and the date of birth. And then you go by your MAR, or your medication administration record. And that gives you an idea of the morning meds and the afternoon meds. And you're just making sure that, whatever you punch into the machine, the right pocket, I call it, the right drawer comes out. And you're verifying that's your right patient, that's the right medication, and how many you're supposed to give for that particular patient. Let's see. One huge tip that I can give to everyone who is starting nursing school, or this is your first semester actually starting clinicals. Please prepare the night before. And what I mean about preparing for clinicals the night before is laying out your scrubs, laying out your shoes, making sure everything is up to par, wrinkle free. Make sure your shoes are shiny, not dirty, and have, dried mud on it or excess dirt. Just look professional. And after that, go ahead and get your clinical supplies, And I'm going to do a video on this, guys, tomorrow, I promise. When I come home, I'm going to try to give you an update on what I take to clinicals, because that might help some new students who are starting clinicals. So, your clothes, your shoes, your jacket, make sure, everything is wrinkle free, everything is clean and wiped off. Clinical supplies, like I take the big clipboard that opens up, I take that with all my necessary paperwork that I need for that day. I take my pocket-sized drug book. I used to have the real thick one, but now I got the little miniature one, and it fits great in your pocket, real snug. Take your bandage scissors. Take your pen lights. Take extra ink pens. Take, if your clinical instructor don't give you the roll of tape, just take you a good little roll of tape, because if you're starting IVs, or anything, changing dressings on wounds, you're going to have to write your name and you're going to have to tape it. So that's just a little quick tip. Just get everything prepared so you will not be scrounging in the morning trying to get ready. Now, guys, a little challenge for me this semester in clinical is starting up an IV. I have had 2 patients in the hospital who have been on IV. My first patient had a PICC line, and my second patient had just a regular IV line. And I tell you, it has been a hassle getting the IV started. You know, hanging up the primary and the secondary, closing off the clamp, opening it back up, you know, trying to release the air bubbles from the line. I mean, I know what to do in my head, but actually doing it, you know, and thank God for my instructor. She's very patient. You know, if I'm getting ready to do something wrong, she'll stop me and just tell me, take a deep breath, breathe, you know, and just think about what you got to do next. And then, you know, if I can't think about it, then she'll step in and guide the way. That's why I love her. You know, she's done this for many, 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 many years. And so I just thank God for her, because if it wasn't for her, oh my God, if we were at a long-term care facility this semester, I don't know what I would do, because we didn't do none of that the first semester. Now, if we did, if we were exposed to that last semester, then maybe I could have went in and rocked it out this semester, you know. But it's different. This is my very first time ever starting up an IV. And I knew that was coming, you know. But what I'm going to do, she told me, don't even worry about it this weekend. Just focus on studying for our exam. And then after the exam and prior to coming back Thursday, go ahead and just watch the ATI things on setting up an IV. And, you know, if I have to write down little steps on what to do first, second, third, and so forth, then that's what I'll do. But she did give us a little, a few steps on how to set it up, you know, and I wrote all of those down. So I'm going to study those and also watch the video from ATI again. You know, I'm very hands-on learning. So, you know, just trying to, I'm sorry, guys, it feels like a piece of hair is on my neck. Actually watching something online and physically doing it is how I learn, you know. So I guess that's what you call a kinesthetic learner about certain things. You know, if I've done it in the past, you know, I can just read about it and go on. But if this is my very first time doing something, I have to have hands-on learning, you know. So that's my little challenge for this semester. But we have a total of, I think, 15 weeks in clinical. 12 weeks are going to be on the med-surg floor, and then 3 is going to be in mental health. So if I can't master setting up an IV within those 12 weeks, then something's wrong, because I gotta get checked off on everything that we're doing, you know. So she has checked me off on it, but actually just letting her stand behind me and I do everything independently, I haven't been checked off on that part. So that's what I'm going to focus on these next couple of weeks that we are on the med-surg floor. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this little brief video today. I'm on 13 minutes, but I will upload my What's in My Clinical Bag supply haul tomorrow. And I will try to get that loaded, I will say at least by 4. If not 5 at the latest. This little video today is a little late because I'm normally uploading my Sunday video on at least by 2 o'clock. And it is what? Almost 20 minutes to 5. But it's okay. Better late than never. So guys, if you have any questions or concerns, please jot them down in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I try to give you guys helpful tips and good techniques for new nurses who are starting in nursing school. And it could be for LPNs or RNs, you know. There's no difference between the two. It's just one does a little bit more than the other. But please like this video, comment down below if you have any questions, and share this video if you like. So guys, I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, Lord willing. So be blessed and be safe.